Myth is gonna be blue.
Oh, they're readying up anyway.
Oh shoot.
Oh, there we go. It worked. Cool. So, here's an interesting thing. Keac is somewhat feared in the arena, as is Matt. So we're gonna have an interesting fight on our hands. A lot of Keac's teams are somewhere around 90% win rate, so, you know, look out, Matt, who is undefeated.
Alright.
Yeah,
And
so
Matt's
we'll
switching
see how
up
this
his
goes.
team, by the way.
Oh, he
so,
is?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't want to be predicted. That's right. So yeah, that's one thing you can do is when you set up your characters in Pit People, you can save up. Well, now we've actually updated by 5, so anywhere from A through L, you'll be able to save your teams. And so if you're playing against people, you can quickly switch between things that you've already preset. And that's what Matt did right there. He switched up to a new. Oh, here we go.
Here you go.
This is the famed. Oh, that's interesting. I've seen this team from Keac before. Really interesting combination.
Yeah.
So we have Spidars, and Spidars have a lot of utility. There's a lot of uses for them. They will shoot webs out to collision that is every other space. So, for instance, who is this? If Liliana moves right here, she's going to automatically block with that. And you can already see the web up right there.
Yeah, she can use, if you've got 2 spiders, like you saw it right over there, you can get like a bunch of webbing across as well.
Yeah, they can cast webs to each other.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I haven't mentioned is you can put characters on their back. So you can have a melee user on their back defending anybody that's close, or you can put a cupcake on there and keep them safe, or you know, an archer, or even the mortar user can go right onto a Spider's back. But in this case, not really a good reason to put any mortar users on the backs of Spiders.
Yeah, but you know, this is a great terrain for Keac actually, just because there's so many obstacles on the map already.
Yeah.
And,
He wants to hold that line,
yeah.
But unfortunately, a Spider cannot, and any character cannot really use their passive while they're electrocuted, or I guess stunned, we would call it here. So electricity, which is actually, there's a lot of electricity on Matt's team.
Yeah,
so,
you can see Liliana's currently stunned.
Yeah. So the Gorgon is using the, what is it, the blade of Zeus?
I believe so. Let's see, the Gorgon. No, that's the knife of Zeus.
The knife of Zeus. Yeah. And then we have the socket shooter in the back line there. This is the socket shooter right here. It's a medium bow and it has a chance to stun. We've also got Pipistrella wielding the Beast, which is a mallet that has an electrical component to it. And we have Horatio, who has a electrical sword. So there's a high stun chance coming from Matt's team. You cannot stun lock the same character twice in a row, so they will not be able to stun Liliana 2 turns in a row, but every other turn, yep, they'd be able to do that. Yeah. So Keac's moved his, oh, that's interesting. He moves characters in such a way that they are now sort of split.
Right, but those mortars are still being protected by that spider webbing. So.
Yeah. The mortar guys are just hanging out in the back. One interesting thing about any archer, they're considered an archer. Any archer class, if they move on that turn, then they're only going to fire half as many shots. So Keac's been pretty good about keeping his mortar users still, so they get more shots per turn, hopefully, on each turn there. So he's maximizing his damage. You can see though that Matt's actually managed 6 more damage on the last turn, and you can see down at the bottom, you can see the health pools. Blue's got a little bit less health, but it's somewhat misleading in a way because the Gorgon has a chance of spawning snakes that you can see that come up there. That's from her.
Oh, goodbye, Royland.
Oh
goodbye.
No.
Matt has one fighter down.
Yeah, we lost the socket shooter there. And we've got one character right here, which I believe was Liliana. Yep, Liliana is
bleeding quite a bit.
Bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty good exchange actually so far. The snakes are guiding themselves, although I don't know if Matt's doing this or not, but you can flag characters as priority or not for the AI. So any AI character, the snakes in this sense, they'll go after or ignore targets that you mark. So Matt may or may not be doing that. I'm not quite sure.
That's a pro tip.
Yeah,
I love
pro tip.
using that. If you go into the gameplay settings, it's allow calm icons at all times.
Allow calm icons, yeah. And the troll mom, you know, she'll make troll babies. Those things will listen to you. There's a few things that'll listen to you that are AI, or you can even have an AI partner. If you're playing alone, you can bring your friends team in. And,
right.
you know,
Or in certain quests and side quests that have like, you know, extra AI helpers, you can also mark them that way.
This is a really interesting fight. So Matt's doing a pretty good job at trying to knock out the protectors of the mortar users, which is a very good strategy because, yeah, they're not. Mortar users have a minimum range, so they need to be back there.
Yeah.
If Keac loses too many spiders, that could pose a problem. They might just get chased down. So.
And again, neither of these teams, neither Keac or Matt knew of each other's team, so
yeah.
This is a fair fight.
Yeah, that's sometimes you just don't know what you're gonna get.
Lots of snakes on the map still.
Oh yeah.
That's super helpful.
Zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in. There's not too much going on the outsides there. Yeah, you know, but HP is still neck and neck. Really interesting right now. We'll see how it goes. I'd be a little bit nervous because we just had a double kill on 2 spiders, which were pretty important to the strategy.
Just some extra info. You mentioned that Keac is a huge PvP or just pit player in general. Yeah. And obviously you guys can probably tell that because he's got all these golden items. But he's been just playing for about a year just like everyone else. So.
Yeah, he's pretty well feared and often seen in the 2v2s. And that's one of the interesting things that's happening today is Rocknick is one of the competitors and Keac is another, and often they team up together, but today they're fighting on their own, and it's an interesting thing because 2v2 in pit people is a lot different than 1v1. I think with 2v2 there's a little bit more mistakes that can be made, or you know, things that can be fudged a bit, but in 1v1 it's kind of cutthroat because you got nothing to rely on. It that Gorgon is actually getting pretty low, which is important because those snakes are just going to be up on the mortar users all the time. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be real hard because they're kind of forcing the mortar guys into melee. Yeah. It's gonna be a tough one.
So we actually have a Discord going. We have our Discord server, and that's how we're communicating with all of the players from the community as well as Matt. And in the Play with the Devs community chat, Keac has said, "This is feeling like a loss to me." But you know, you never know. Honestly, with PvP,
you never know. But I think it's pretty tough because even if everybody was gone, they've got that heavy shield user.
And just to let you know, Keac, looking at the poll, 69% voted for you. So, you know, they believe in you.
They've probably all been defeated by Keac.
That's true.
Yeah, he's got quite the reputation. I think just matchup wise, it was a little tough. With the stun, I think with all the stuns, you know, Spider's weakness and half the team being Spider's, not being able to hold that web wall, I think that was a good payoff for how Matt's constructed his team here.
Yeah. I'm gonna close the Twitch poll since we are getting close to the end of the match.
Yeah, you can't vote now. That's that's too much. Team HP wise though, still pretty close. Although it might change soon because the mortar users have to move each time, and that's already cut Keac's damage in half now. You know, so he was only able to get 9 damage out that time, whereas Matt just did 47. So I think yeah, strategically Matt's kind of found the way One thing you can do in Pit People as well is you can, when the matches are over, you can save the replays, and you can look at where things went wrong, where things went right, and what you might do differently.
Yeah, which is what we'll actually be doing, and then we'll upload that into our Discord server if anyone wants to look at the fight again.
Yeah, we'll put the matches up in case anybody wants to see exactly where things changed and could have been maybe better or worse. Yeah, I think it's pretty tough right now. It's pretty tough. He still managed 26 damage on that last turn, though. That's pretty darn good for the circumstances he's in to deal that much damage. It's actually quite good. So he's not going down without a fight. And I mean, even though they're wiggling right now, their animations are little wiggles. I hope to get to those one day. But yeah, when you see the mortar users,
this
melee,
game is still in early access.
Yeah, they wiggle. You can see the little red guys wiggle when it's their turn with that melee. It's kind of fun. Still holding on there. Wow, holy cow.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, there's actually quite a lot of characters right now that are low. Cuddles is kind of low. Pip's a little low. Although unfortunately, who is that? Yo ratio. It can't fire.
Well, that's on Keac. Yeah.
Yeah, yo ratio versus ho ratio. Look at that. I don't think your ratio is going to be all fire over at Pip, so I think the only kill that maybe Keac might manage is on Cuddles. Not sure. We'll see.
There you go.
There was that wiggle. Almost got her. Real close. So HP is still pretty darn close. I would say it was still a pretty decent fight here, and it's still not over. He's still... Oh, there was a stun on that guy. Oh no.
Double kill.
Oh, heavens. It's up to who is this? It's up to your ratio. Wait, were there 2 your ratios?
There were 2 your ratios.
Huh.
Wait a second. Well, he could have actually had a different profile and trade over.
You could can't you do the you can do the quest more than once and collect your ratios, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one. Yeah, so it looks like Matt has
Congrats to Matt, and we're gonna check out the stat screen
for now.
Congrats to Matt, and great job to Keac. That was seriously
that was a pretty good
team.
fight, all things considered.
And then if you want to look over these initial stats, you can explain.
We had a little bit more damage coming out of Matt. We had a lot of defense that actually came from... Yeah. We had a lot of defense that came from Teeth, it looks like, on Keac's team. Look at that. Look at Teeth's blue bar there. That's crazy. Of course, you can see Matt went very heavy offense.
Alright, we're going to try to bring Sketch Philo back in.